It will be. It will be. So, Mr. Welker, so when you say the turnpike, does that be the interchange that's near the eastern boundary? The future interchange is near the eastern boundary with South Van Township?
Correct, yes.
And then it would go up Reesing Road, wind up through a large part of the township. And then what would happen at that point?
It would intersect with Route 980, and we would travel south on Route 980. I think it was about a half a mile to a right on Gladden Road. And then Gladden turns into Jacobs, I believe, where the township, where Mount Pleasant and Cecil Township overlap.
So Gladden is in Cecil, but Jacobs is in Mount Pleasant?
Correct, yes.
And then where from there?
It would be Primrose and then Galati Road, and then you would arrive at the mill site.
Okay. And so what's that route off the turnpike? What's the approximate number of miles that trucks have to travel if that's the route they have to use?
6.6 miles.
And of that, how much is in Cecil Township?
About 4.6.
By comparison, and this is my last question on this issue, if you can truck reuse water to Connor to service Schultz. What's the amount of travel distance on Range Road after you depart Route 50?
I think it's just over a half mile, 3,000 feet.
Okay, thank you. Well, just want to ask you some general questions about trucking. What kind of coordination will the Range undertake with school districts?
So we'll coordinate blackout periods around school bus pickups and drop-offs. So in the morning and in the afternoon. And Max Orr and his team coordinate that with the school district and with the colleges. And then they'll also add a window on either side of that. It's 10 or 15 minutes on either side of that to ensure if there were any delays. So we'll coordinate with Cannon Max School District on the blackout period for those township roads.
Now, the route you've identified on Route 50 and north on Green, that will travel past the intermediate school, is that right?
That's correct.
And has Range Trucking traversed past the intermediate school on Route 50 in the past?
Yes. Yeah. Typical production truck traffic, or if they're traveling from 79 to another pad. I don't know that we've specifically avoided the intermediate school because Route 50 is a main thoroughfare.
Okay, that notwithstanding that, is Range willing to commit here that it would honor a blackout on Route 50 and on Grange Road during those drop-off and pick-up hours?
We would on Grange Road. We don't typically do it on state roads, but with Grange Road being so close to Route 50, a blackout period on Grange Road does black out the portion of Route 50 in front of the school.
Route 50 is a non-weight restricted state route, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And is that used by trucks and other large vehicles not associated with any of Range operations?
Yes.
Are you aware of any complaints received by Range about its truck traffic passing the intermediate school on Route 50?
I am not aware of any, no.
Will Range enter into any township standard excess maintenance agreement and bond any weight restricted roads upon which it travels with its heavy truck? Will there be any upgrades to any of the roads pre-pad construction?
Yeah, that's, so Matt Fortney in our roads department handles that, but typically he will go in, and take a tour of the road, and see if it needs improvement and work with the township to make sure it's improved, to their standards, yes.
Will there be any ongoing monitoring of the condition of the road?
Yeah, during operations, so we always have, range employees driving, when there's operations out there, in pickup trucks. So if there's a hole that develops, they'll call Matt and he'll address it.
Will vehicles be permitted to queue on the back up on the township's roads at the Connor site entrance?
No, sir.
There's a fairly long access drive, isn't that correct?
Yeah, and when we design it, there's typically a pull-off area. Max Orbitz doesn't take it all up. We can stage some trucks on the lease road.
Will you have any form of traffic control during heavy truck usage?
Yes.
And what would that be?
We have escorts, so they'll meet at a staging area, what we call a staging area, and the trucks will get an escort vehicle there, and they will follow the escort vehicle to the location, and then on the way out, they'll pick an escort vehicle up on the way out as well.
And lastly, is there any signage that's typically associated with any road signage that's typically associated with ranges pad developments?
Yeah, we'll put up a speed limit sign. Our speed limit for range trucks on a township road is 15. If there's any special directions on which way they're allowed to turn out of the lease road, we'll also put that sign at the end of the lease road so that our truck traffic knows which way they're allowed to go and which way they're not.
Okay, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you. If I understand, Madam Chairman, at this point, rather than have questions asked of Mr. Welker now, we would proceed to our next witness. Is that correct?
Well, let me ask you a question. How many more witnesses do you think you have before you're wrapped up?
We have one witness that we definitely intend to call. We have several people available in case additional questions come up.
So how long do you think that next witness will take?
20-25 minutes.
What I'm trying to avoid is what happened this time, which is when I'm not questions will be answered like November instead of November. And I still have some questions that she didn't answer, so I'm trying to avoid having people become not available to answer questions.
Well, I would suggest we go through Mr. Orovitz and see what questions folks have, and we can answer them all great. If not, we'll see where it takes us from there.
Yeah, because I personally have a number of questions to look around and short and give people here as well.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Wilson, and then we will start with the first question.
At this point, Range would like to call Mr. Max Orovitz. Mr. Orovitz, looking for you on the screen. Are you there?
It should be there. Maybe when I talk, put my name based on your screen.
And were you sworn as a witness?
Yes, sir.